I discussed last week Montreal Canadiens and players on Montreal believing in themselves. What's newsworthy today on both Sportsnet and TSN? Islanders players believing in themselves. And I want to state something about this. John Tavares signing with the Toronto Maple Leafs is huge. It's a huge blow to the New York Islanders. I don't think it's a death blow. First off, signing Jan Kovar, or Kovac, depending on Czech pronunciation here, he could be a huge addition. Secondly, Tavares, 37 goals for the Islanders. Hard to get rid of that. The minus 12, if you ask Islander fans, he wasn't intense defensively. The big knock on the Islanders, I'm going ahead and looking at their stats from last year, they were number 8 in goals for. 8. They were 31st in goals against. For Johnny Boychuk and Josh Bailey to come out today and say, we believe in our team, I don't blame them. It's that weird time of year. It's July. Of course guys believe in their teams. You should feel good. Because as much as we may say, well, this team isn't going to make the playoffs, look at this past year. 8 teams made the playoffs that didn't the year before, which means 8 teams missed that made it the year before. And no matter how crazy some predictions may look, when we look back at the predictions from last summer, they weren't crazy enough. Nobody had the Avalanche making the playoffs. Nobody had the Blues missing the playoffs that I can remember. The Bruins, most of us had the Bruins missing the playoffs. It is impossible to predict from one year to the next. Now, it's easy for people to look and go, well, the Islanders, between Nassau and Barclays, and Nassau's not really an NHL arena, and Barclays really isn't an NHL arena with that SUV in the corner, and we've all made the SUV jokes. And losing Tavares hurts. But they weren't storming the castle of the Stanley Cup with Tavares themselves. It may have been a bad match on both sides. This gives Barzal a chance to improve as a player and show that he is really a bona fide number 1 center in the NHL, which his stats as a rookie would seem to bear out. And no, he hasn't been tested yet. And no, a lot of guys in that team haven't been tested yet. But if Hosang comes in this fall and plays well, and if Kovar comes in and plays really well for the Islanders, and if they can make up a difference of, say, of the 37 goals that left, if they can make up a difference of 15 or 16, and the rest of the Islanders keep up their production, they're middle of the road. All they have to do is stop allowing so many bloody goals. The problem with the Islanders wasn't scoring, and losing Tavares, as much as it hurts, and I'm not saying it doesn't kill them. It really doesn't. And with Lou Lamoriello in charge, and now Barry Trotz behind the bench, I think you're going to see improvement. Barry Trotz in Nashville made a living making teams that were barely worthy of being in the National Hockey League look like a playoff team. Went to Washington, guided a team to a Stanley Cup. Something that hadn't been done in their entire history. Now he's with the Islanders. And we can discuss whether or not their roster's improved, but if what's behind the bench has improved as much as I think it is, as much as most people will admit it has, no offense to Doug Weight meant at all, and hopefully none taken if he hears it from me, but really, honestly, we don't know what the Islanders are yet, so the fact that it's newsworthy, to me, this is one of those weird things about this time of year. It's newsworthy that Boychuk and Bailey think their team is good. Name me a player right now anywhere in the NHL, and I said this last week, who says, oh, we're going to stink. Nicholas Kronwall is going to come out and say, oh, we're going to stink in Detroit this year. Edler's going to come out in Vancouver, oh yeah, we're going to stink up the joint. It's going to be awful. Senators, Brady Tkachuk, all make the team because it's crap. That would be newsworthy. That would be a fantastic headline. Tkachuk says Sens are crap. Melnick agrees. It's just that weird part of the year, isn't it? So strange. And it's one of those things that I was reading, while we were making the drive home, and I'm like, wow, I'm not sure why this is a thing. So here's my challenge to you guys. Which teams are really and truly done? Which teams do you look at right now and say, that team isn't going to make it? Now here's the thing. Don't go for the easy ones. Whether it's Vancouver, I guess you could say the Islanders. Which team that made the playoffs this past year do you think right now looks like they're going to miss the playoffs next year? And do you think could miss spectacularly? Because somebody will. It's going to happen. And these Islanders could be the team that replaces them. It's so weird. And I'm wondering, too, if next summer, if the Islanders go on a nice run and they make the playoffs, and they do something in the playoffs, will Boychuk and Bailey get credit from the media for believing in their team? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do not forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. From home, it's me. Thanks for watching.